A star is extinguished. The life and death of JonBenét Ramsey. JonBenét Ramsey, a radiant 6-year-old beauty queen, captivated hearts with her infectious smile and undeniable stage presence. Her journey into the world of beauty pageants began at a tender age, where she quickly became a standout contestant. With her blonde curls, sparkling eyes, and confident demeanor, JonBenét was a natural on stage, winning numerous titles and accolades. Her charm and poise made her a favorite among judges and audiences alike, and she seemed destined for a bright future. Born in 1990, she was the darling of her family, the apple of her father John's eye, and a source of pride for her mother Patsy, a former beauty queen herself. The Ramseys were a close-knit family, often seen enjoying picnics, family gatherings, and holidays together. Patsy, who had once walked the same path in the world of pageantry, took great pride in grooming JonBenét for the stage, sharing her own experiences and guiding her daughter with love and dedication. The Ramseys, seemingly living the American dream in their affluent Boulder, Colorado home, were picture-perfect on the surface. Their house, a sprawling mansion in a prestigious neighborhood, was a symbol of their success and social standing. John Ramsey was a successful businessman, and Patsy was a devoted mother and homemaker. Together they provided a life of comfort and privilege for their children, JonBenét and her older brother Burke. Behind closed doors, however, a darkness would soon envelop their lives, forever shattering their idyllic facade. The night of December 25, 1996, would mark the beginning of a nightmare that no family should ever have to endure. As the festive spirit of Christmas lingered in the air, an unimaginable tragedy was unfolding within the walls of the Ramsey home. The discovery of JonBenét's lifeless body in the basement the following day would send shockwaves through the community and the nation. JonBenét's life, tragically cut short, would become synonymous with one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries in American history. The investigation into her death was marred by controversy, missteps, and a media frenzy that only added to the confusion. The crime scene was compromised, evidence was mishandled, and the case quickly became a sensational topic for tabloids and news outlets. Despite numerous theories and suspects, the truth about what happened to JonBenét remains elusive. Her story, a chilling blend of privilege and tragedy, continues to grip the nation's attention, leaving a haunting question echoing through the years. Who killed JonBenét Ramsey? The case has inspired countless books, documentaries, and theories, each attempting to unravel the mystery. Yet, despite the passage of time, the answers remain out of reach, and the memory of JonBenét Ramsey endures as a poignant reminder of a life lost too soon. The quest for justice continues, as does the hope that one day the truth will finally be revealed. Christmas turns to nightmare. A family's worst fears realized. The Ramsey family, known for their close-knit bond and festive spirit, had always cherished Christmas. It was a time for joy, laughter, and togetherness. But this year, the holiday season would be marred by an unimaginable tragedy. The festive cheer of Christmas morning in 1996 turned to sheer terror for the Ramsey family. The day began like any other Christmas, with the family gathered around the tree, unwrapping presents and sharing moments of happiness. The children's laughter echoed through the house, and the warmth of the holiday spirit filled every corner. What began as a day of joy and celebration quickly descended into a parent's worst nightmare. The atmosphere shifted dramatically when Patsy Ramsey, the mother, noticed something was terribly wrong. The cheerful ambiance was replaced by a sense of dread and confusion. Patsy Ramsey, waking early on that fateful morning, made a chilling discovery that would forever alter the course of their lives. As she descended the back staircase, she stumbled upon a note that sent shivers down her spine. A ransom note, left on the back staircase, demanding $118,000 for the safe return of their beloved JonBenét. The note was meticulously written, filled with threats and demands that seemed almost surreal. The amount demanded was oddly specific, adding to the growing sense of unease. Panic and fear gripped the household as John Ramsey frantically searched for his daughter, his mind racing to comprehend the unthinkable. Every room was turned upside down in a desperate attempt to find JonBenét. The once peaceful home was now a scene of chaos and despair. The authorities were immediately contacted, and a frantic search commenced, turning their home into a crime scene. Police officers swarmed the house, questioning the family and searching for any clues that could lead to JonBenét's whereabouts. The Ramseys' home, once filled with holiday cheer, was now under the harsh glare of police lights. Little did they know the horror of that Christmas morning was only just beginning. The events that unfolded would not only shatter the Ramsey family but also captivate the nation, leaving a lasting impact on everyone who heard their story. The search for JonBenét would become one of the most infamous cases in history, filled with twists, turns, and unanswered questions. A ransom note and a gruesome discovery unraveling the initial hours. The morning of December 26, 1996 began like any other for the Ramsey family, but it quickly spiraled into a nightmare that would captivate the nation for years to come. The ransom note, lengthy and strangely worded, quickly became a focal point of the investigation. It was discovered on the staircase by Patsy Ramsey, JonBenét's mother, who immediately called the police, setting off a chain of events that would forever alter their lives. Its unusual length and tone immediately raised red flags for investigators, suggesting a possible attempt at misdirection. The note was written on paper from inside the house, which indicated that the perpetrator had spent a considerable amount of time there. The demand for $118,000, a curiously specific amount, further fueled suspicions that the note might be a fabricated attempt to mislead authorities. This amount was almost identical to John Ramsey's recent bonus, adding another layer of complexity to the case. As the day wore on, the search for JonBenét took a devastating turn. Friends, family, and neighbors gathered, hoping for a miracle, but the atmosphere grew increasingly tense as hours passed with no sign of the young girl. John Ramsey, revisiting the basement of their home, stumbled upon a sight that would forever be seared into his memory: the lifeless body of his little girl, concealed in a seldom-used room. The discovery was both shocking and heartbreaking, leaving the family and investigators in a state of disbelief. JonBenét, her mouth covered with duct tape and a ligature mark around her neck, had been brutally murdered. The brutality of the crime, combined with the bizarre circumstances surrounding it, would lead to one of the most perplexing and controversial investigations in American history. The initial hours were just the beginning of a long and arduous journey for justice. A bungled investigation, missteps, and missed opportunities. The discovery of JonBenét's body sent shockwaves through the community and ignited a media firestorm. The investigation, however, was marred by early missteps and missed opportunities that would hinder the pursuit of justice for years to come. The crime scene, inadequately secured in the initial hours, became potentially contaminated, compromising valuable evidence. Adding to the complexities, the Ramseys, overwhelmed by grief and thrust into the glare of the media spotlight, lawyered up quickly, limiting their cooperation with law enforcement. This lack of initial transparency, coupled with the seemingly staged nature of the ransom note, cast a long shadow of suspicion over the family. The media circus descends, fueling speculation and suspicion. As details of the case emerged, a media frenzy erupted, transforming the tragedy into a national obsession. Cameras camped outside the Ramsey home, hungry for any scrap of information, while talk shows dissected every aspect of the case, often with more speculation than fact. The constant media scrutiny, while intended to shed light on the case, often had the opposite effect, amplifying rumors and innuendo. The Ramseys, once the epitome of the American ideal, were now portrayed as potential suspects, their every move scrutinized and judged in the court of public opinion. The intruder theory: was JonBenét the victim of a stranger's evil? Amidst the media frenzy and swirling suspicions, investigators grappled with several competing theories about JonBenét's murder. One prominent theory centered on the possibility of an intruder, someone lurking in the shadows who had slipped into the Ramsey home with sinister intentions. Proponents of this theory pointed to the unlocked basement window, suggesting a possible point of entry for an unknown assailant. Furthermore, the ransom note, with its Hollywood-esque demands, could be interpreted as an attempt to mislead investigators and deflect suspicion away from the true perpetrator. However, the lack of definitive evidence linking an intruder to the crime scene continued to cast doubt on this theory.